I've worked a lot of cases. Most of them you forget after a few years. This one I never did. Because this wasn't about a killer hiding from us. It was about a man who hid in plain sight for 30 years, at dinner parties and yacht clubs, in rooms full of people who should have known better. We only caught him because somebody wanted a swimming pool. Early 1980s. Quiet suburb outside Los Angeles. A young couple, John and Linda, lived there with a house guest. A strange young man. Foreign accent he tried to hide, always polite, always a little too careful about what he said. The neighbors thought he was odd. Nobody thought he was dangerous. Then in February 1985, the couple said they were moving to New York. They never got there. Postcards started showing up after, supposedly from Linda. But the handwriting was wrong, the phrasing was wrong, and that quiet house guest of theirs disappeared the exact same week. No note, no trace. Without a body, we had no case. Just a bad feeling that sat untouched for almost a decade. 1994. New owners of that property wanted a backyard pool. The construction crew didn't hit dirt where they expected to. They hit a body, wrapped up, buried with care, in a spot no pool was ever supposed to go. That's when this became a homicide investigation, and we had one lead, that house guest who vanished the same week as the victims. Except when we went looking, he didn't exist. Not under any name we could find. Because while we dug up a backyard in California, that man had already become somebody else. Several somebody else's. He turned up next on the East Coast, presenting himself as European old money, vague about his past in a way people mistake for class instead of a warning sign. He drifted through a few states, different name each time. Eventually he landed in New York and picked the identity that defined the rest of his life. He told people he belonged to one of the wealthiest families in American history, talked about a private art collection, a yacht, credentials nobody checked. He got invited into galas and boardrooms. He married into money, had a daughter. Years went by, nobody checked his story once. What finally cracked it wasn't police work, it was a divorce. When his marriage fell apart, the custody fight forced lawyers to actually verify who this man was. They found nothing. No birth record under that name, no family, no paper trail before a certain point in his life, like he'd simply appeared out of nowhere in his 20s. Cornered by his own unraveling lie, he took his daughter during a supervised visit and ran. That triggered a manhunt that made national news. We caught up with him days later. And once we had him, everything underneath the kidnapping cracked open too. DNA connected him directly to the body pulled from under that swimming pool almost 20 years earlier. Turned out he had no connection to the family he claimed. Wasn't even American. He was a German national who came into the country as a teenager and started building fake identities almost immediately. An exchange student who, piece by piece, turned himself into old money royalty. That quiet house guest who disappeared in 1985. He never actually left. He just became somebody new. Then somebody new again. He was convicted of murder, and he's spending decades behind bars for it. The other victim was never found. That part remains officially unsolved to this day. Almost 30 years, this man erased himself so completely that some of the most exclusive people in the country never thought to ask one simple question. And that's the part that stays with you. The most dangerous person in the room usually isn't the one lying about what he did. It's the one lying about who he is.